All right. Other had something else on my computer. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in for Monday Morning Quarterback, where Monday Morning Quarterback is where we look at Sunday's worship service from a Monday morning perspective. And hope you were able to join us either in person or virtually at Ward yesterday. I thought we had an amazing worship service yesterday. And sermon title was Decrease, taken from John 3, 29 and 30, where John the Baptist basically said, when Jesus was getting a lot of followers, he says, I must decrease so that he may increase. And so the sermon title was Decrease, just simply Decrease. And there were 3 points in the sermon yesterday. The first point was, in order to decrease, you have to recognize the greatness of God. There's no way I can decrease self when I think that I am equal or bigger than God. So in order to have a decreased mentality, I must acknowledge and recognize God's greatness. And so that's what was the first point. Second point was to know your place, and I'm going to get into that a little bit more. Third point was rejoice. Okay. So yesterday, I don't feel that I explained my second point clearly. And that was know your place. And so, when I went back and looked at my notes, I was like, I missed that one. So when you look at verse 29 from John 3, verse 29, he talks about the one who has the bride is the bridegroom. So Jesus is the bridegroom, and the bride is the church. And he says, the friend of the bridegroom who stands and hears him. And so that's where I got the point from know your place, because we who are disciples of Christ, who have been saved, set aside, we're the friend of the bridegroom, and we stand next to the bridegroom. We stand next to the bridegroom and we listen and we hear the bridegroom. And so I talked about how the bridegroom was only an assistant, not the main participant in the marriage. And the assistant acted on behalf of the bridegroom and made all the arrangements for the ceremony. And so the friend of the bridegroom was a worker. He was a worker that worked for the bridegroom so that the ceremony would be wonderful. Okay. And so as believers, we cannot effectively decrease again, unless we know the greatness of Christ. And if we know our place, where is our place? Our place is beside the bridegroom, working on behalf of the bridegroom. So we can't exalt Christ and make Christ great unless we are willing to work for Christ. Because when I see Christ and all the greatness that he is, I know that I have work to do. Okay. And so we are to do the work of the kingdom. We are the ones who are to, of course, worship God, exalt God, but we're also called to go and share, to witness, to pray for, to provide resources for the least of these, to feed the hungry, to clothe the naked, to bring good news to the poor. That is our work. We are to work for the bridegroom, because we are making all of the preliminary arrangements for the ceremony, for when the church comes together in the last days, when we are reunited with Christ. Until then, we are to work for that great celebration. I'm going to quote something from Oswald Chambers. Oswald Chambers says, "The one who has been born again deliberately gives up his or her right to his or herself to Jesus Christ and identifies themselves entirely with God's ministry to others." Okay, so if I've been born again, I must deliberately give up myself and the rights to myself and surrender them to Christ in the ministry of working for others. Okay, that is knowing my place, that I am a friend of the bridegroom and I'm doing everything I can to make the bridegroom look wonderful. All right, that means I'm committed to work for others. I'm committed to serve others. I'm committed to make all the preparations as the best man of the wedding. Okay, so in essence, knowing your place, I have to consider my life not my own, and I have to give my life for the work of Christ and the kingdom. So to decrease means also that I am committed to work on behalf of the bridegroom. That's knowing my place. That's knowing my place. So that's the Monday morning quarterback. I'm not going to be long today. But if you haven't had a chance to watch the worship service, I encourage you to go back and watch it on Facebook or YouTube. And it's found at Ward African Methodist Episcopal Church. I believe that's the YouTube page, the wording of the YouTube page, as well as Facebook. Or you could just search, you can just go to wardamechurch.org, and all of our social media information is on there. And you can go back and subscribe. We always say like and subscribe and share. And so you can go and follow any of our platforms. We would love for you to be a part of what's going on here at Ward. And so we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube page, because every time we do something, you'll get notifications. There's another thing you can do. You can text. You can get out your phone and text Ward, WARD, and the number you'll text that to is 31996. And if you do that, you'll receive a lot of the notifications that we send to our members. If you want to just know what's going on at Ward, you can do that. We don't over text. It's not a group text, so there'll be nobody replying back and you're getting all these text messages. You'll get one text, and we may send it 2 or 3 times a week unless we have something going on, and we may send reminders through the week. So that's Monday morning quarterback. I'm Pastor Barry Settle, pastor of Ward AME. Thank you for joining us today. And we invite you tomorrow. We pray at 6:15 a.m. Pacific time, same platforms that you're watching. We have Bible study on Wednesday evening at 6:15 p.m. And then, of course, worship every Sunday morning at 10 o'clock a.m. Pacific time. So God bless you, and may the Lord be with you today. Peace.